teams that are out, task forces, and they took a look at the same evidence. The question being, and I think there's a lot of good information that's been brought up and a lot of questions. Is there political bias involved in the decision, or is it just a lower priority? This is more, we know that a lot of the resources were shifted over to prosecuting those who trespassed at the Capitol. But what I'd like to do for a moment is actually look at the data that was there during the Biden era FBI, the same data that was looked at by the Patel era FBI. And one of the things, Mr. Paiota, let me start with you. You're familiar with the CAST team, is that correct?
Yes.
Can you briefly describe what the CAST team is in the FBI?
They're a communication analysis team. They do cellular phone communication, review, analysis, records, disposition. They can tell you who was where, when, and they look at the communications network and how it was leveraged during certain situations.
So we also have from an FBI report that the members of CAST were frustrated is that they were put on the back burner when it came to the pipe bomb investigation. Would that be something that would normally be done within the FBI?
In my experience, no. You take those specialized resources as they come. Unfortunately, what they might have run into were turf battles, personality issues, and things that tend to hinder investigations, where that's where that engaged leadership would come in and bulldoze right through those challenges and make sure that internal FBI resources were properly and completely engaged, which did not happen, it appears, across this investigation.
Okay. I mean, there's no doubt there was violence on January 6th. None of us have denied that, and I do appreciate our Capitol Police who defend us here and have been here to protect us and the other people that are here. Now, one of my concerns I had with the Select Committee on January 6th is they had an entire team that was supposedly dedicated to investigating how did the breach happen here at the Capitol. Now, there's really nothing in their 700-page report regarding security failures. However, Republicans investigating this all the way back to Representative Banks, who's now Senator Banks, as well as my previous investigation, uncovered what appears to be a massive intelligence failure. And one of those that we're actually getting more information right now are the CHSs, confidential human sources, which we know that there were several embedded, which I think that's important for the FBI to have these informants embedded in extremist groups. We have multiple reports of that, some even indicating that it very well could have been much worse, as I've been reading over these reports, by some reports coming in that it was going to be armed, it was going to be a takeover of the government. Fortunately, that didn't happen, but it's beyond question that the FBI, through these reports, knew that there was going to be violence at the Capitol. However, we have been unable to find any evidence that that information was transferred from the FBI formally to anyone else, including the U.S. Capitol Police and the U.S. Capitol Police Intelligence Division. We're still looking at that. Is that normal operating procedures? I mean, is this turf battle so tight within the FBI that they would not report actionable intelligence, that they're very likely is going to be violence at the Capitol?
I think what you found here was a communication failure. They downplayed the information. They probably saw that it wasn't actionable or it came from sources of questionable reliability. So they downgraded the veracity of the information, chose not to disseminate some of it to the partners and let them make their own decisions. In my opinion, it was a bad judgment call inside the Bureau not to have that pre-event call, share that information with them, let the partners make their own decisions and combine it with information that they may have developed separately. So I would say it was an intelligence shortfall.
It was clear the intelligence was there because even the Metropolitan DC, their own emergency management department, ordered hospitals to double their blood supply just based on their intelligence of what was coming in. So, you know, that we would not be able to use these agencies to work together to make sure that we weren't caught flat-footed as we were on January 6th. One other question I have about the CAST. Now, we do